Ryan has gone on record claiming his characters are just him. He's not an actor, he's a man pretending to be an actor. Well, these celebrities know exactly what's up. Welcome to Beyond the Screen, I'm Nate, and today we're breaking down the top 10 celebrities who refuse to work with Ryan Gosling. Number 10. Hugh Jackman. The man with the metal claws and the soothing voice, Hugh Jackman has had a long-standing beef with Ryan Gosling ever since 2011 when Ryan was chosen over him for a pretty significant role. Ryan famously portrayed the main character of the film Drive, a film which follows a mysterious Hollywood action film stuntman who gets in trouble with gangsters when he tries to help his neighbor's husband rob a pawn shop while serving as the getaway driver. A thriller action piece that is considered to be one of Ryan's best performances to date. It's pretty strange though to think that Hugh Jackman was almost casted in the leading role, but he was replaced with Ryan at the last minute. Jackman had reportedly signed all the paperwork, he had meetings to finalize his involvement in the flick, everything was good to go. Unfortunately for him, the director Nicholas Winding felt that Ryan was better suited for the role, and that was true. Ryan is perfect in the flick, and the idea that Hugh Jackman almost played him instead is a little uncomfortable. It's all good though. Drive launched Gosling's career as a more serious actor, and Hugh starred in The Greatest Showman. There's no joke there, I just wanted to remind you all that that exists. Number 9. Jared Leto. Jared Leto is one of the strangest men in Hollywood. Stranger still are the roles that this man chooses to take. In 2016, Leto delivered what is considered to be the worst performance as the clown prince of darkness, the Joker, in the dumpster fire version of The Suicide Squad. Leto wasn't DC's first choice to don the wig and makeup, however. It was actually Ryan Gosling that was initially offered that role. While it's fun to imagine Gosling in the role, the reality was that Ryan was not about to sign a multi-film contract to play one of the most unhinged men in comic book history. The simple reason was that was how he liked it. He doesn't do multi-movie deals. He's not one for starring in sequels or remakes, but ironically, despite Leto signing the multi-year deal, he actually only ever appeared as the Joker one more time in a glorified cameo in Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut. It's a 4-hour movie, oh, and where's the Joker? 3 hours and 45 minutes. Ryan's behavior towards such contracts has caused Jared to refuse ever working with Gosling, claiming that he has no idea what a privilege it is to be offered such a contract. Yeah, okay Jared, go make another Morbius movie and then tell me how you feel about contracts. Number 8. Rachel McAdams. Alright, in 2004, Nicholas Sparks' novel The Notebook was adapted into a live-action movie starring Ryan and Rachel McAdams. I know they work together. Many may know Rachel from her role in the iconic comedy flick Mean Girls as Queen of the Plastic's Regina George. The Notebook was a hit for hopeless romantics and people being dragged to the theaters by their partners. The movie centers around Allie and Noah, who despite considering each other soulmates, bicker constantly, which oddly enough translated to their real-life relationship as well. According to the director Nick Cassavetes, the two would constantly fight on set, with Ryan even demanding that she be taken out and replaced with a stand-in whenever her face wasn't needed for a shot. Despite the movie doing well, the pair never spoke following the premiere, but Rachel claims she's done working with Ryan for a different reason entirely. You see, a few years following the film's release, these two actually ended up getting together in real life, apparently longing for those long fights and steamy nights from the Notebook days. While the relationship ultimately didn't work out, they were together long enough to know what each other looked like in their birthday suits, and that is a line that you just can't uncross, you know? They'll never work together again. Oh well. Number 7. Meryl Streep. There are some folks out there that just swoon when this man enters their field of view, and Meryl Streep is one of them. One of the most adored women in Hollywood history was spotted adjusting Ryan's tie at the Screen Actors Guild Award a few years ago after noticing that it was a bit askew. Ryan's face is lit up in the photos, and who can blame him? Donna from Mamma Mia just straightened his tie. Meryl was friendly with everyone that night, but with Ryan in particular, she was calm, cool, collected, so flirtatious and charming. When asked about the helpful hint at the award ceremony during an interview, Meryl began to blush. During an episode of The Graham Norton Show, she expressed her appreciation for Ryan as a performer and for his little cutie patootie. Apparently she has a little crush on Ryan, and the feeling is mutual, so much so that when Meryl was asked to participate in the upcoming Barbie movie, she had to politely decline, for the simple fact that she'd be having too much fun with Ryan and distracting him from his work. Too bad, the idea of Meryl playing a Barbie variant or even being one of the real-world villains like Will Ferrell would be cool, but I guess that would be a little bit too like Devil Wears Prada for this movie though. No Barbie, you're not going to Paris. Number 6, Ryan Reynolds. I know what you're saying, Nate. They're both named Ryan. How could these guys ever fight? Well, this is one feud that both Ryans wish would just go away. In 2011, Ryan Reynolds was cast to play the live-action adaptation of DC's Green Lantern hero. I do apologize to anyone suffering from a traumatic flashback that I have mentioned that. Please just take a moment to compose yourself. While the film received terrible reviews, Reynolds actually holds a grudge for that film towards Gosling. Apparently, Gosling was on track to play Green Lantern, but he had to back out at the last minute due to a prior commitment. I don't know though, the timing and coincidence of this is just a little suspicious. Reynolds stepped in at the last minute and did everything he could to make this movie good. I do mean that. He is the only person who tried to make this thing good. But thanks to the CGI, the terrible writing, and the studio executives, the project was a dumpster fire. But despite that, Ryan Reynolds has vowed to never work with Gosling again for fear that he may flake on the project he actually cares about. So for anybody hoping to see Ryan Reynolds and Barbie, it's only bad news bears. Number 5, Chris Evans. Yes, Chris and Ryan have collaborated together in the past. In fact, they recently starred as the leads in the Netflix action flick The Gray Man. But that's probably going to be the last time that ever happens. Evans, probably best known for playing the Captain America in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, was actually involved in a little scuffle with Ryan on set of The Gray Man. The film, which is action heavy, like this thing could be on an episode of My 600-Pound Life. It is so heavy. The film features many fighting sequences between the main characters, and reportedly one take went horribly wrong. Chris accidentally punched Ryan in the face for real, and since he was aiming to miss, Evans accidentally put his entire body weight into the blow. He knocked Ryan off of his feet, and filming was halted immediately. Ryan took the hit like a champ, he got back on his feet, and he continued to film the scene. Following the film's release, Chris has had nothing but nice things to say about Ryan, but has joked about never working with the man that he punched in the face ever again. Who would have thought that Captain America gets socially anxious about stuff? Number 4, Jane Fonda. So, okay, the reason Jane is on this list actually doesn't have anything to do with something Ryan has done or said. It's more or less what she's done to him. Jane Fonda has been a prominent member of Hollywood's roster since 1965, starring in several much-loved projects, including her successful Netflix series Grace and Frankie. In 2014, a Vanity Fair article was released as Jane had some explaining to do. Photos began to surface of Jane and her assistant carrying a chair to her car. That chair had Ryan's face printed on the seat. You see where I'm going with this? For anyone who has actually seen Grace and Frankie, you may notice that chair from the first episode of the series. Jane had to make it clear that she did not intend to keep the chair for personal use. However, multiple copies were made. While she claims they sold out overnight, she did not clarify if she had a part in that or not. So I bet the $8 in my savings account she's got one hidden in her basement somewhere, next to a bottle of Chardonnay and a boombox loaded with George Michael. Number 3, Jimmy Fallon. For those who only know Jimmy as the charismatic late-night talk show host that he is today, you're missing out on some good stuff. Jimmy first got his start in the acting world when he was added to the cast of the late-night sketch series Saturday Night Live. He was only a featured cast for a short time before being moved to the weekend update portion of the show, which is still the funniest part of the night to this day, thanks to Colin Jost and Michael Che. While Jimmy has had Ryan on his show many times to discuss upcoming projects in the past, he's actually got a little bit of a secret hatred towards Ryan for stealing his thunder. In 2004, Jimmy tried to make a move to the silver screen, starring in the comedy Taxi alongside Queen Latifah. The film received solid reviews, and it helped solidify Latifah as a woman who could control the screen. And Jimmy, A few years later, Ryan starred in an action thriller called Drive, following a stuntman on the run. You see, Jimmy has claimed that the plots of these two films are eerily similar, and they have clearly copied his idea. Yes, they took Taxi, they wrote out a character, they changed the plot, the style, the genre, and the dialogue to create Drive. Yeah, in case you can't tell, that's not true! But it could be, maybe, who knows, could be true. Number 2, Simu Liu. The Kim's Convenience star and first ever live-action Asian-American superhero Shang-Chi, Simu is actually set to star alongside Ryan in the upcoming Barbie movie as a fellow Ken variant, Michael Cera, and I'm sure a massive amount of other people that we don't know about yet. According to Simu, filming the project project with Ryan was a blast, but there were some noticeable problems between the two. You see, Ryan and Simu reportedly had the strongest chemistry out of everyone on set. When they were together for a scene, you knew it was going to be gold and chock full of spicy tension. According to the crew, a bromance formed between these two, causing them to always be buddy-buddy on set, which is considered to be a little unprofessional, just a smidge unprofessional. In between takes, they were dancing, laughing, and loudly conversing, which I'm sure made the lighting and the sound and the director's lives very easy. Simu was asked if he would ever do a one-on-one project with Ryan, to which he replied, "Hey, only if one of us is always off the camera." These two getting together for a flick sounds pretty good, to be honest, but understandably that film schedule would be one nightmare after the other. And number 1, Donald Glover. Troy and Abed are an entry. Donald Glover first made his mark on the small screen starring as the lovable Troy Barnes in the hit sitcom Community, alongside comedy greats like Chevy Chase and Yvette Nicole Brown. When the show was canned in 2015, many fans were wondering what was next for Donald, arguably one of the best parts of the show. Well, not arguably. If you just want any proof, watch any season without his character in it. It's bad. Donald actually focused his efforts on creating a new show for himself called Atlanta. The show is a perfect blend of comedy and truth, able to maintain a lighthearted feel while addressing real social issues on race, relationship, poverty, status, and parenthood. Ryan was asked to audition for a role on the show, and he was actually casted by Donald and his team, but he bailed on Donald at the last minute. According to Donald, Ryan was set to appear in an episode somewhere in season 3. Much of the season takes place in Europe though, so the possibilities are endless, and Donald's enthusiasm was strong. Unfortunately, Ryan was unable to make the shoot, as the timing never worked out for him to get on a plane and jet off to Europe. He's too busy squeezing into pink roller skates and dancing with Simu Liu to be a part of one of the best modern TV shows ever. Atlanta is unfortunately finished now, with its 4th and final season being released in September of last year. Donald has never actually stated that he refuses to work with Ryan, but he has gone on record saying that the chances of them working together now, it's highly unlikely. And those are the celebs who have been ghosted by Ryan Gosling. Do you know anybody that we missed? Well, if you do, that would be impressive, because he's Ryan Gosling. He's awesome. Thanks for checking out our content here at the channel. If you stuck around to the end of the video, be warned. If you find a pair of pink roller skates on your doorstep, just walk away. They're not for you. Lightly tap that like button and keep coming back for more. As always, thanks for stopping beyond the screen with us today, and we'll see you next time. Let me roll these up. It's a little warm, but I want it looking good, you know? Alright. Ryan Gosling! Ryan